Welcome everyone to the APH Connect Center National Transition Conversation. We are so happy to have you with us. We have lots of people joining us today. You should be able to actually see the participant count so you can realize just how many people are joining us today. Again, you are here for the APH Connect Center National Transition Conversation, and we are happy to invite you today to a 2-hour discussion with all of you as our presenters. We do have multiple people coming and joining us today, so we're allowing them and you to get into the room to be able to participate. The chat is open, and that is a place where you can place your questions. If questions come up, those are being captured and we will hold on to those for later. Again, I am just welcoming you to the APH Connect Center National Transition Conversation. Olaya, I'll turn it over to you.
Oh, hi. My name is Olaya Landa-Villard, and I'm the director of the Connect Center, but I'll hand it over to Joe since he's the leader of this party.
It's a great pleasure to be here at the National Transition Conversation. Basically, I want to give you a little background on why we're doing this and what has been done in the past. In the past, there was something called the National Transition Network Forum. If I'm talking fast, it's because we have a limited amount of time and a lot of people. So the National Transition Conversation is to kind of go off what we used to do in the past, but bringing a new spin on it through the American Printing House for the Blind and some great partners. And today I'm joined by Olaya, who was just introduced. I'm also Richard Rueda. Richard?
Hi there. Hello, everybody.
So I'm Joe Strechay, and I'm a consultant for the American Printing House's Connect Center. I spent the last number of years back in the day working with Career Connect, and Career Connect's back. It's at the American Printing House, and we're excited to push transition forward and give people an opportunity and a forum to share practical ideas. The idea of this program and this event is to give people an opportunity to share resources and share ideas about programs. And today is just an introduction, just to get things started. Richard's been running a meeting like this in California for a while now. We're working with a team of people and them running it together. But we're hoping to bring that back nationally and I guess internationally. We have some international members, and we're excited to do this. So when we did the registration process, we reached out and asked you all about how often you'd like to attend. We got a variety of answers. Some people said twice a year, some people said annually, some people said more, but we'll be doing a final survey after the event. We're hoping that we can use this to help bring future events in, that we can meet more regularly and provide content. And the content would be provided by you guys, sharing practical ideas and programs that you're doing out there in the field. We're in a crazy, strange time with COVID, and everyone's had to think on their feet and create new programs and deliver services in a different way. Some of your programs might be have been doing this all along. I know Idaho has been using Zoom for their transition program for a while now, like 1.5 years, 2 years. So a lot of us, we're just catching up, and I've had the opportunity to speak to about 8 different transition programs over the last number of, I guess, months now. I guess it's months. So we're excited, and that's the purpose. And we want to make sure this is beneficial to everyone. I know over the last number of years when we had the National Transition Network Forum, we learned a lot. We learned a lot about programs that we could replicate in other states and places. And really, we want to keep pushing that forward. So
yeah.
Richard?
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody. And my name is Richard Retta. I'm with the Society for the Blind here in Sacramento. I run a program called Careers Plus, and Joe and I have been talking about this for quite a while, and I'm super happy to see that we're actually kicking this off. And my whole goal is to really hear from those of us on the front line as to what you're doing, what's working, what's challenging you in times of COVID, prior to COVID and during COVID, during the pandemic, and just learning from each other. I think this is a real cool and exciting opportunity, and I'm super thrilled. As Joe has said, we've been doing this in California for the past year and a half, and prior to that, on and off for the past decade. So I'm sure there's a lot of folks from California on this call. And incidentally, Joe, I did hear from a lot of folks in California who said they couldn't make it today. So for those in the audience, and we will have a transcript or some type of a follow-up summary of this meeting for those who couldn't make it?
Yes, we will. We'll be posting the information and the highlights of it online on APH's website and in the Connect Center, and probably linked off of Career Connect, but we will also be creating a listserv. So after this, we'll be sending out a survey to see who would like to be on the listserv. The listserv's been created. It's using freelist.org. It's national transition at freelist.org. You can even go there yourself and subscribe right now. So that's out there, and that way we can share information and distribute information and keep things out there in the world. So we'll be also sending this information out. So we want to make sure this information isn't just shared today and forgotten. And this is just a starting point. So we hope to build from today. Today, you'll have the opportunity to share. We're going to go state by state. We have way more people than we expected, which is exciting. But it also means we're going to have to limit the time that we provide you. Richard is going to go down the line of states and or in territories, and then also mention international. So if people want to report out about some interesting programs or activities and how they're dealing with what's going on or problems that they face, you will have a whole 45 seconds to share.
Elevator speech.
Yep, elevator speech, be quick. And if you're from the same organization, please don't choose to speak, because we're trying to limit the number of people sharing. So no repeat organizations or agencies. We're trying to keep it limited and not to repeat information as well. So we're excited to have this, and excited about you sharing, because you guys are the experts doing it every day. So Richard, you want to take it from there?
Yeah, so let's queue up some folks, Alabama, Alaska, and Arizona. So if you're from either one of those states, are we raising hands? Is that how people are being acknowledged?
If you raise your hand so we can acknowledge it.
And we'll go
Name
A through
those
Z.
3 states again.
Yes, Alabama, Arizona, Alaska, and Arizona are our first 3 states.
And currently I am not seeing any hands. If you cannot find your hand button, or you are on the phone, you can try typing in the chat, and then I will find you.
We'll give folks a second to get familiar with that. And if not, we can always round back up to these states.
Oh, yeah.
I am not seeing any takers. I would move on.
Okay,
if you have, hold on, you have a question as to what's the question? Why did they want to raise their hand?
Basically, you're raising your hand to ask for the microphone to speak about some of the programs that you're doing or activities around transition right at the moment. Exciting, cool, successful things that you're doing transition-wise in your area. So it's a time to share. Say your name, say where you're from, your organization, and then get to it. You have 45 seconds.
Okay, last call for Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, and I'll even throw in Arkansas. I almost said Arkansas. Arkansas.
You have a hand. So this is the World Services for the Blind. I've hit allowed to talk. You have the mic.
Hi, everybody. I'm Eric Yarberry, the Director of Education.
Oh, you are very soft. So try turning up your mic or getting closer to your microphone.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, better.
Yes.
Okay. I'm Eric Yarberry, the Director of Education at World Services for the Blind. This summer, we've got our Prep and Assistance Services program, our PASS program. It's got 2 tracks, our vocational and our college prep. We have 5 students working with the university across the street, actually taking 3-hour college course that is all online. So we're able to provide the blindness services that they will need, learning about accommodations and everything like that, as well as being integrated into an actual college course. So that's really good, and we're excited about that. It looks like they're all going to pass.
Beep, beep, beep. That's the timer.
All right, Joe Strechay.
So last call for the A states: Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Alabama.
I am not seeing any
Somebody's
other hands.
stuff is going on.
That's Joe
Yeah,
Stuck.
that's my timer.
Oh, gotcha. I like it. It's cute. Okay.
All right, the big state of California over here. California. I know there's got to be folks from California on the call.
Yes, you've got people. So the first one who raised their hand is Sarah. Sarah, you have the mic.
And I'll turn that off.
Depending on your system, you can try holding down your space bar to talk.
And I don't start until you start.
Yeah, no, they're still working on getting their mic up. There you go, Sarah.
All right, here I am. I have no clue why the voiceover is being finicky with this thing today.
Okay, get closer to your mic because you're going in and out.
All right, is that better?
Much
Perfect.
better.
Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm having trouble hearing voiceover, so I have to keep going back and forth between these mics. All right. So I am Sarah Harris. I'm from the big O state of California, specifically the Central Valley. I'm a program manager / youth empowerment specialist at Resources for Independent Central Valley. And I work with youth of all disabilities, and we are completing tomorrow our virtual summer program, which is really focused on, you know, all those fun things of civic responsibility, self-discovery, as well as person-centered planning. I've been working specifically one-on-one with youth to put together person-centered plans to develop goals that can be worked on virtually, you know, all that pre-employment fun stuff, all of that. And it's worked well. You know, I do have to say, I think that, you know, we're all working remotely from my office, and so I'm at home. I get to work in my pajamas, which is super fun. But I think that you guys are no fun.
This is further incentive. Thank you, Sarah. This is further incentive for folks to sign up on our listserv so you can share out the rest of your story.
Yeah, we would love to hear more detail on all of these programs, and it will be sent to everyone on the list.
Your next hand is Dory. Dory, you have the mic.
Yeah, hi. I teach the regular year. I teach high school in LA Unified. I work in a VI resource room, and looking for some good ideas about transition. I have 3 students who are in 12th grade, and they're all pretty much college bound. So that's why I'm here today.
Awesome.
You're in the right place. Thank you.
Yeah,
Welcome.
Your next hand is Amy.
Hi, yeah, I'm Amy Jin from the Vista Center in San Jose area. I run a transition program called Youth of Tomorrow. It meets twice a month. So I do a social group that's a little more informal, and then I do a more formal workshop, usually like the 2nd Saturday and the 4th Saturday of the month. It's virtual, so I've gotten students from other parts of the country, which is really cool, but then like I'm losing students to other programs just because everything is virtual. So I'm trying to figure out a way maybe where like all of us can kind of like fill in the gaps so that students can get, you know, like a little bit of everything. But unfortunately, like mine is kind of tied to budget and like time because I'm part-time. So I don't have as many resources to make it as cool as like the YES program or Career Connect. So, but yeah, it's been going pretty well. I try to get guests. Oh, okay. Thanks.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you so much.
Your next mic is Jay. Jay, you have the mic.
Hi, this is Jane Schubert from Lodi Unified School District. I'm an O&M hybrid, and I'm in the Lodi Unified School District.
Move a
Sacramento
little
area.
closer to your mic, Jay.
Sorry.
There you go.
Schubert, Lodi Unified School District. We're going to be back in session in 2 weeks. We're in the Sacramento area, looking really forward.
You keep moving away from your mic. We really want to hear you.
I'm moving in the same place. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to do.
Okay.
Lodi Unified School District, Sacramento area, looking forward to working with Rich. I have one student who's deaf, and we need to figure out the ASL accommodation. I've heard of it. Thanks.
Thank you, Jay.
Thank you.
Your next hand is Jane. Jane, you have the mic.
Hi, everybody. Sorry about that. I had to unmute. This is Jane Flower, and I am the Youth Outreach Specialist at Guide Dogs for the Blind. And I facilitate a week-long in-person, usually summer guide dog program for youth 14 to 17 who are thinking about getting a guide dog. This year we went virtual. It was a great week. We even had Richard on from Society for the Blind to talk about some transition issues, and also we talked a lot about what it would be like to have a guide dog in high school and or transitioning to college. And our youth program services are growing and expanding, so also just looking for different ideas. Thank you. I beat the timer.
And I will give a solid plug for Jane. She's available to speak to any of your programs, and she's a great presenter for if you need a guide dog workshop for your students on Zoom.
Heck yeah.
See Jane.
Cool.
No more hands.
Nobody else from California? Let me insert my program, and Joe, you can time me.
Okay.
I'll take off my leader hat. So Richard Retta speaking on behalf of Careers Plus at Society for the Blind. So since April, we've been doing Zoom calls each Thursday. Similar to Amy, our first call of the month is Ready, Set, Goal, GOAL, and we just do open mic, goal setting. How's everyone doing? How are you accomplishing things now that you're home? And what's the challenges around that? And then our other 2 or 3 calls a month, we're focusing on the pre-employment transition stuff. What is it going to be like going to college and taking initiative, getting a job, and all those really important discussions we have. We bring on guest speakers, and we really open it up to students to interview folks. So yeah, it's Thursdays, and there you go.
Awesome.
If no one else is from California, we can go to Colorado.
Oh, you've got a hand already. Michelle.
Hi, this is Michelle. I'm from the Division of Vocational Rehabilitation here in the state of Colorado. And we, of course, have been, for the last couple years, been providing some workshops in person in the Denver metro area. But because of COVID, we've been able to put them virtually and expand all across the state. So we usually host about 7 to 8 workshops in regards to topics related to pre-employment. But we're also looking at launching a job club statewide in the fall every week. So we can really touch base with students every week. So I'm looking for ideas. I love the Ready, Set, Goal. I'm going to steal that one, Richard.
That's great. That's what it's for.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Joe, I want to interject here. If folks, as they share out, or if they want to put in the chat, maybe you can let us know if you're using any other platform other than Zoom and if it's working. And I really want to address Jay's question is, if you're working with deaf-blind students, how are you involving them? Is the chat feature working, or are you having interpreters? I'd love to hear that, because I do want to incorporate that population as well. Colorado, and then we're looking at Connecticut.
No hands at the moment.
Delaware?
No hands.
Florida. We've got to have Florida, I'm sure.
We have some Florida. Okay, Stephen, you have the mic. Try holding the space bar down. Give Stephen a minute. He could also be disconnecting voice over of some sort. Oh, there you are, Stephen.
Yes, right. Hi, my name is Stephen Allen. I'm the president of PolicyWorks. a national nonprofit focused on peer mentoring. I've been working with the WinTAC for the last 5 years, helping to create a pilot projects using peer mentors is one of the 5 PREET services. As you all know, self-advocacy, including the instruction with peer mentoring, is a way to provide pre-employment transition services. In fact, peer mentoring can be used to provide the other 4 services. We have a Florida program as one of the examples of the pilots that is a statewide service delivery platform for the training and certification of peer mentors. All of that's done on a learning management system that is accessible, created by, okay. Anyway, come to peermentoringworks.org. Thank you.
Thanks, Stephen.
Thank you.
Resource.
The next one from Florida is Sue. Hi, Sue.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. I work for Lighthouse for the Blind and Low Vision in Tampa, and we did our first summer e-transition program this summer. We had 19 to 23 students logged on every day for a 4-week period, and we extended work experiences for a 5th week. We use Zoom with a main meeting room as our activities room for our large group career exploration speakers, virtual field trips. And then we used 5 breakout rooms for small group classes with teachers that focus on job readiness skills, money management, home management. Students searched for our job postings online. They applied online. They had interviews. And then we started their work experiences the 2nd week. And we had 7 different work experiences.
Sue Glazer, Sue Glazer.
Very close.
I will say for folks who've joined us late, if we've missed your state, we'll go back around and do A through Z one more time towards the end. So now we're on Florida.
I don't see any more hands for Florida.
Georgia.
Krista.
Hi, everybody. My name is Krista, and I'm a youth instructor at the Center for the Visually Impaired in Atlanta. And we have been working with our transition age students virtually since March, and we're going to continue on through this next school year virtually on Zoom. And we have a mentor program where we pair our students with blind adults, and they are committed to spending at least 2 hours a month with our kiddos. We also have classes that we are going to facilitate after school 3 days a week, and these focus on independent living skills, social skills, job readiness, assistive tech, and all that kind of stuff. So
thank you, Krista.
Anyone else from Georgia on the phone?
No hands at the moment.
And Hawaii, then Idaho.
Allison.
Hey, Allison.
Go. Okay, sorry. This is Allison Stephen from...
You're going to need to talk really loud.
Oh, I am. Okay. Is that
there
better?
You go. That's better.
Okay. My name's Allison Stephen. I am from the Idaho Commission for the Blind and Visually Impaired, and I just wanted to quickly share about our program, a 4-week program that was our switch from our summer work experience program to a work readiness program, 4 weeks long. Focusing on a different topic each week. We brought in some big guns each week to provide content for us. One of them was no other than Joe Strechay, so hopefully he'll give me extra time for that little promotion there. And the other big piece was the mentoring. We had mentors for each of our students, which meant that they had someone checking up on them every day, which I think has been really positive. They also had to complete informational interviews to explore a job career of their choice.
Perfect. And I have to say that was great because I can say that Idaho, San Francisco, and a number of these organizations that include mentors in their program, it just adds a whole different level. So great stuff, Allison. Thank you.
Not seeing any other hands.
Hawaii and Idaho. Okay, then we'll go to Illinois and Indiana.
Judy.
How's that? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Great, great. I'm Judy Reynolds. I'm from the Indiana School for the Blind and Visually Impaired. I'm the coordinator of our work program and the student training and employment program here on campus. We have kids working on campus and also in coordination with Bosma Industries. I work with our IEP coordinator. We do a lot with ECC activities involving career. We also have a coordinated event with our pre-employment transition services youth director and our vocational rehab for IPE services. And then we have a summer step program, which we didn't have this summer, but a 4-week program for our kids to all over the state. For work experience, we did virtually this year.
Beep, beep, beep. Great.
That was good. Good.
Well
Good
done.
stuff. Anyone else from Illinois or Indiana?
You have Mary.
Hi, I'm Mary Shepard, and I'm an itinerant VI for Michigan City area schools. So I'm looking for strategies I think I lack in the area of transition, so I'm hoping to get more information. And I do have to say Judy is wonderful at ISB VI with the STEP program.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
Thank you for sharing. If no one else, we'll go with Iowa and Kansas.
No hands.
Iowa and Kansas, Louisiana and Maine, if you're from those states.
Shannon.
Hi, I'm Shannon Burns. I'm with the Division for the Blind and Visually Impaired from the state of Maine. So since COVID happened, we have been doing some online ACE Academy programs with David Dino Terrace, working on things like self-advocacy, all the sort of pre-ET skills and services. We're starting in August, we're starting a AT, Community of Learning with transition students to really dive into Apple products and making sure that students know everything their assistive technology can do for them, because that's sometimes a hole. They think they know, but they don't know everything it can do. We've also been running a virtual gardening club over Zoom, and we're with cooperative extension. And we had an after school program, and we're hoping to move that to a virtual platform in this school year. One of the blessings, I guess, out of all of this, is big geographic area, virtual programming. Lots of kids get together who wouldn't have the opportunity otherwise.
I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Another hand?
Yes, go ahead.
Chris? Might be disconnecting a screen reader. Give it a second.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Try holding down the space bar if that's not the issue. There you go.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Sorry about that. I was just wondering, I'm hearing a few different great ideas and things, and I'm a TVI out in California, and really applaud you guys for having this national transition. Are you guys writing like notes down that we can circle back to? Because I'd like to hear a bit more about the virtual gardening and that kind of stuff. I think that's really cool.
I love that too. Yeah, we're going to distribute the notes from the meeting later on, and there's a listserv. We'll be sending out a survey to all attendees, and you can ask to be on the listserv, and we'll put you on the listserv, or you can go to freelist.org and subscribe to the national transition list on there. So, but we can also add you as well. So,
and Chris, I'll be sending this out to the California group later this afternoon. All the info for the list.
And the recording of this will be posted on the APH YouTube channel as well.
There you go.
So any more Louisiana or Maine, and we'll go with Maryland.
We have one more, Chris. Chris, you have the mic.
No, I shouldn't be still here. You guys should go on. I don't have anything else. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Maryland, Massachusetts.
Teresa, you have the mic.
Hi, this is Teresa Majuri. I'm from the Boston Public Schools. I am a TVI and also a certified transition specialist through UMass Boston's program. I wanted to specifically talk to the deafblind issue because I have 6 students with Usher syndrome in all in different stages of vision loss. And we have continued on through our COVID using Google Classroom. With interpreter pre-recorded instructions that are placed into the Google Classroom along with the assignments. And also on Zoom, we use a live interpreter during that time. It took the kids a while to figure out how to put their screen so that they could see everybody and the interpreter and what I was doing. I'm planning to do 2 screens with them come the fall if we stay virtual, so they don't have to toggle back and forth so much. I will tell you that I try to partner with agencies as much as possible, especially during the summertime, because I want
Okay. I gave you extra time just so.
All right, and we also do, we have also continued on even in our virtual space, cooking once a week. We would have a group and we would cook, we would garden, and we also did some crafts. We made
definitely beep, 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 beep.
Your next person is Leslie.
Welcome, Leslie.
Good afternoon. This is Leslie Thatcher. I am the Director of College Success at Perkins School for the Blind. In the past, you may have heard of running a residential gap year program for college-bound high school graduates with visual impairments. We are still in the world of college readiness and have launched a new program called Compass, designed for blind visually impaired students. I'm talking really fast, sorry. Grades 9 through 11 virtually develop critical academic and blindness skills to build a foundation for a successful future. We will be working one-on-one coaching students, their teachers or TVI, and their parent. So, or guardian. Want to know more? We'll put more in the chat box. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, Leslie.
Well done.
For folks who are joining us, we're doing 45-second share outs so that everyone has a chance. So thank you for understanding.
And we may have time to hit some other subjects at the end. It all depends on how many people speak, where we can ask people to speak about a little more in depth about topics.
Okay, you have Richard. Richard, you have the floor.
Richard, I thought I heard you in that. Yeah.
Again, you can try holding your space bar down. And again, there is always a delay for those that have some type of screen reader.
Yeah.
They're trying to turn off listening and hearing, and
yeah,
we get that.
Yeah, we do.
Richard, we'll give you one more second to try to figure it out. You can always raise your hand again. Oh, there you
Can
go.
you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Okay. So my name is Rick Ely, and I work for the Polis Center for Economic and Social Justice. We work under a contract with the Mass Commission for the Blind. We started our programming being all live. The kids went to any number of different kind of job sites, and we spent time to learn about what kinds of skills were needed. We also then had to, as everybody did, move to Zoom, and we've been trying to do as much as we can, and actually fairly successfully. More of those directed at developing personal skills, interviewing skills, how to look for a job. And what else can I tell you? I guess nothing. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing out, Richard. I appreciate it. Massachusetts and then Michigan.
Erica, you have the floor.
Hi, everyone. This is Erica Erkey from Leader Dogs for the Blind. We went virtual with our traditional summer experience camp this past June and learned so much by doing it, so much so that we look forward to continuing in our virtual way next year, in addition to our on-campus method for summer experience camp. On campus.
Next.
Just say on campus.
On campus. Okay. No
He
more
sounds
hands
like
at
the
the
road
moment.
runner.
I do.
Let's see. Where am I? Minnesota. Michigan, Minnesota, Missouri. Oh, I overlooked Mississippi. Yep.
Yeah.
If you're from an M state and you haven't gone, you're welcome to go.
M's. Here
Montana.
M's.
No hands?
Nope, no hands.
All right, Nebraska.
Mars.
Right. Any Nebraska folks on the phone call? All right, we'll keep going then. New Hampshire. And New Jersey. Nothing yet?
Nothing yet.
All right, let's go with New Mexico. And New York.
And if you didn't get the opportunity and you raise your hand and we said your state and you're just finding the hand part, just raise your hand when you can.
North Carolina. And North Dakota. How about Ohio?
So let's pause for a minute. Let's see if any of the M as in Mike, N as in November, or O as in Oscar.
States.
And states. And can you explain one more time the national transition at freelist.org?
Oh yeah, national transition at freelist.org. It is our listserv. You can find it at freelist.org. But also, we will be sending out a survey and asking if people want to be a part of it, because you can always stick your name in the field to register as well. It's easier if you do it yourself, though.
Okay, I've had no hands.
Okay, we left off with Ohio, and let's go with Oklahoma.
You've got an Oklahoma. Renee, you have the floor.
Hello, this is Renee with Oklahoma VR, and I'm the transition coordinator. And we did STEM this summer virtually, and it actually worked out beautiful, and we were super excited. We had 3 weeks of STEM camp, so super exciting about that. And our pre-ed specialists are working every night going over pre-employment transition skills with those students over Zoom as well. We haven't found a new platform, but Zoom is working for the moment. So just a quick update. Thanks.
That's cool. The 3-week STEM programs. Yeah.
I'd like to hear more about that. Yeah.
I vote for that demo.
And maybe we can feature that on one of our upcoming calls, like have some people talk about some of these topics. Brilliant stuff. Let's go with Oregon. Followed by Pennsylvania. All right, we'll hit the R states. So we did O and P, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island. South Carolina. No hands, right?
No hands, nope. I'll grab you if I find one.
The home of the Black Hills Mountains, South Dakota. And Tennessee. Texas. Is anybody from Texas on the phone? All right. We did S&T, Texas, Utah. And Vermont. Okay, and even if you're a representative as a TVI from one of these states and you want to introduce yourself, you're totally welcome to do that.
Yeah, please.
You don't have to be with an agency. We want to know who's in the room. Vermont and Virginia.
Valerie. Valerie, you have the floor.
Hi, I'm an education coordinator with the Department for the Blind and Vision Impaired in the central area of Virginia. And while I don't work directly with transition services, our state agency did provide some programs virtually, including Steps to Success, which is a 2-week collaborative program with the University of Richmond, but it was virtual this year. And they also did a life program, which focuses more on the expanded core curriculum with teenagers in high school.
Great stuff.
Yeah. Good choice words. Thank you.
And you have Lisa. Lisa, you have the floor.
This is Lisa. I'm an education coordinator in the other part of the state from Valerie. So I'm just here to say exactly what she did.
Brilliant. Well, welcome, Lisa.
Welcome.
Let's go with, we did all the V's. Let's go with Washington State and let's go with Washington, D.C.
Lori, you have the floor.
All right. Hi. My name's Lori Pulliam, and I work at the Washington State School for the Blind, doing for post-high school young adults. It's an independent living program, and I just wanted to let everybody know our summer programs. We usually are very busy doing in person the 2 YES programs in the Bridge to College program. They're virtual this year. We are doing 5 tracks, 1 each day of the week, and they are going really well. We've got 2 weeks left. As soon as I hang up from this call, I'm getting on the track that I'm involved with right now, which is the Students with Additional Disabilities track, and it's about an hour and a half long each day, each of the tracks, and I will say hi to Joe. Long time no see.
I was going to say, Lori's been doing this for a while. I won't say she's been doing transition for a while. I don't want to say long time because you're too young for that.
No, I'm old. It's okay. I'm old.
Thank you for sharing out. Any other folks from Washington State or Washington, D.C., District of Columbia?
Nothing.
All right, West Virginia and Wisconsin. And Wyoming. If we have no more W's, we can go and see if we have any folks from our territories. Puerto Rico, Guam.
Mariana Islands.
Not seeing any.
How about anybody international guests from other countries? And then we can go back if folks have joined us. We did 45 seconds and
we have one hand. Yep, Karen.
All right.
Hi, it's Karen Wolf, and although I'm not from foreign lands, I'm happy to be with you guys and happy to see this continued. I just wanted to quickly share with you that I have been doing a lot of international work lately, both in Canada and in Australia in particular, related to transition. And I'm happy to share more details about it when you guys have some time.
And we might actually, Karen, thank you for joining us. It's good to hear your voice. For those who've just joined us, I'll go back through the alphabet. If there's anyone who joined us and wants to share out what they're doing in 45 seconds from your state agency, voc rehab agency, or if you're just a TVI, or if you just want to introduce yourself, now's the time to do it. You can raise your hand, and then we still have plenty of time to go back and kind of finish some of those other conversations.
You want to run through the top of the alphabet?
Yeah.
Well, I've got a hand, so okay, we'll start there. Laura? give her a second. Try holding down the space bar, but you might also be disconnecting voiceover or voice assisted somehow. Give me one more second, Laura. You can always try raising your hand again if you figure out that mic. Okay, I'm gonna stop you for a moment. Let's go to Dean.
Welcome, Dean. Hey, everybody. This is Dean from Savannah, Georgia. I wanted to say hi to Joe real quick, one of my buddies for a while. And I love this, guys. They're wanting me to start a transition program in the northern Georgia or Savannah and South Carolina area. And they just actually asked me to start doing research on information. So this is a perfect timing for me. And I just want to say thank you to everybody and appreciate it. A lot of good information real quick. And I'm taking lots of notes. So thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Okay, I'm going to try Laura one more time. Laura, were you able to figure out your mic? Try holding down the space bar.
Sometimes when you dial in on on an iPhone, you might be muted and on the phone pad as well as in the room. So sometimes you have to unmute yourself in two different places.
Yeah. Laura is using video relay services. And so that might be an interesting challenge. You're going to need your person who's relaying the information to say it, to log in. And there's plenty of room if they want to do that. Okay, Cheryl.
Yep, this is Cheryl at the Tampa Lighthouse for the Blind, and Sue gave our report. They did an outstanding virtual summer camp, came up with some very creative work experiences that the kids could do at home. And I mainly just wanted to say hi to some of my good friends that are on here.
So let me ask you, Cheryl, before you put the mic down, give us some examples of these creative work experiences. I'm intrigued.
They had some of them calling food trucks and asked them to have a Braille menu, and they didn't, and so they were charged with Brailling a menu for the food truck. And some of them were doing website accessibility testing. Wow. And some of them were testing products for our instructional material center. There was just a variety of things, and they turned that program around from on-site to virtual in less than a month.
That's great.
This is why these calls we're bringing these calls to you, because I thrive off of what you're doing and you thrive off of what I'm doing, and we share, and then we can just make this so much more enriching. So that's brilliant stuff. Thank you for sharing.
Thanks, Cheryl.
And we're just going back through the alphabet A through Z from basically Alabama to Wyoming. If you've joined us late and you want to share out what anybody,
or territory.
If you're on this group, any of the states, if you did not have an opportunity to use the mic, this is your time to raise your hand. There we go. Whoops, I just lost the hands. There we go. Andrea.
Hi there, I'm Andrea Wallace, and I work with the Florida Instructional Materials Center for the Visually Impaired, and I also work at the Tampa Lighthouse for the Blind, but I'm gonna talk about from the instructional materials standpoint and how we supported the Lighthouse transition program. We provided, they provided interviews to the students, so they had people they didn't know interviewing them. We also provided a lot of instructional materials from American Printing House for the Blind, and some other pieces of technology as well for students to review or for students to put together. Like, you know, how the word playhouses are all in pieces. So we had students, if that was at their level, it was a perfect job for them to help put those together and then review the products as well. So that's just some of the small ways that we help support the transition program. So it might be something other transition programs could look out to provide support or get support from their local or their IMCs in their state.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
You have another hand?
Yeah, hand.
Ronnie, you have the floor. There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. This is a wonderful, wonderful seminar here. And with the New Jersey Commission for the Blind, I'm a TVI, and I was excited to hear about this, just to see about different programs for transition students around the country. In addition to our, I know we were doing our life skills program, as well as some of our college prep programs, and we've also been doing some programs for our middle school and primary grades students as well, just to get them together for some virtual activities, having them to communicate with one another, and just helping them to be to know that they can reach out and contact one another, and also connecting them with some career professionals as mentors.
Love it.
So this is.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you, Ronnie.
And don't forget, we do have a listserv, free list. You can search for, is it National Transition Conversation? Is that right, Joe?
It's just National Transition.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other hands? Yeah.
None at the moment. None at the moment.
Dr. Karen Wolf, are you still online?
Oh, real quick, Joe, before we get we get Karen back on. It's nationaltransition@freelist.org, right? Is that
yes?
Okay.
Yep.
Just wanted to be
Made
sure
it simpler than conversation. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
And Karen Wolf is still on.
Yay.
Karen, would you like to share? First of all, Dr. Karen Wolf helped create Career Connect, the website, back in 2000 and 2001, and also, if you'd like to share a little bit about your work in Australia, Canada, and internationally, go for it, or in the States.
And I've opened your mic, Karen. Or you can type no. Ha ha.
Let's hope that she doesn't say no.
I cut her off guard.
Oh. Well, she did
Well,
offer.
I had muted myself. No worries. I thought that you guys had muted me. I had muted myself. Sorry. Actually, I've been involved in some wonderful programming, you guys, overseas. We did a big weekend event in Sydney right before I left Australia at the beginning of the mess with COVID, where we had a group of young people come in with their families, and we had set up big round tables all around the room. We did a panel discussion to open things up, where successfully employed blind and low vision folks shared about their work, what they were doing. Some great people, including a chef, which was just brilliant. And then we let the kids and their families literally move around from round table to chat with mentors who were stationed at those tables. Different people then were on the panel, but the panelists came down and joined as well. So that was an absolutely brilliant effort. And then up in Canada, we did an online only offering of a summer camp in preparation for college and university. We used, by the way, MS Teams. You guys had asked about other platforms. We used MS Teams. That worked really, really well. And I thought one of the more interesting elements to that effort was that they had a couple evenings, they did 2 weeks, where the kids worked together online with facilitators. And then I did a couple evenings with their parents. And we did, I did a virtual seminar with them, and a synchronous session, and they got on and asked me questions and then followed up with email. So that was a really interesting adventure as well. In terms of what I've been doing stateside, I'm happy to report that I've been doing some work down in Florida. In fact, Cheryl and Sue have been involved in bits and pieces, especially Cheryl. We're working on a vocational evaluation tool, the Blind Services Foundation Vocational Evaluation Tool, BSF-VET. And if any of you are interested in piloting it with your students or clients, let me know. I'm happy to share with you about that effort. But those are the biggies right now.
It's pretty big, that
Yeah.
vocational evaluation especially. Yeah.
I do have a question. Is anybody on the call, or does anyone have any information on the Rehab and Training Center out of Mississippi State? At one point, they were doing a transition tool for some kind of an app. Yeah.
Yeah. Sylvia Stinson Perez and what is it? She's with the Older Blind program, but yeah, that could be a good presentation in the future.
Yeah, we had them back on last October in California, and it was great, but I haven't heard anything since, and I know a lot has happened since. So I was just wondering, maybe when we hold our next forum, we could bring them back on.
I see another hand. Lisa?
Ooh.
This is Lisa Allwater from Virginia again. And so here in Virginia, Cantress out of Mississippi State, they're holding transition specialist kind of training. So they've got 2 TBIs from Virginia here, and they're going through train the trainer kind of stuff. And they're going to be going through the state of Virginia, working with school systems, with transition specialists, etc., working with blind and vision impaired kids. So the Mississippi State has developed that program. I'm assuming it's involving several states.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay, and you've got one more hand. David?
Hi there.
Hi.
This is Dave Ballman. Hey, Joe Strechay.
Hey, Dave.
How you doing?
Good, brother. Good to hear you.
Good. I was coming in and out because I was having problems, technical issues, but I just heard the last speaker, and I actually just finished doing the 2-day training with Mississippi State, the Putting Your Best Foot Forward Train the Trainer workshop, which was pretty awesome.
That's great.
Cool.
So,
and you're out of Wisconsin too.
I am. So are we just doing updates?
You can do both. You go for it.
Yeah, so I'm a transition specialist with the Wisconsin Center for the Blind and Visually Impaired, and statewide outreach. And of course, like everywhere else over the country, we're doing mainly online programming now. And in the past, one of my big responsibilities was a 6-week summer employment program with experiential learning and kids actually getting jobs and things like that. And that was reduced to a 1-week, very abbreviated program this year with just basically like pre-employment skills and things like that. So, and we're kind of in the process of trying to work out how we're going to do transition in the fall remotely. So looking for any thoughts and ideas on that, because I'm sure everyone else is in the same boat.
Yeah, everyone's on that.
Let me interject with 2 questions. I know we're just an hour into this, and we're scheduled to go for another hour. So let me throw something out.
Half hour.
Oh, half hour. Sorry. All right. Oh. I gotta go.
I just didn't want you to tell them something wrong.
Well, let me ask you this: Are you extracting the chat? Will that be available offline for just kind of? Okay, cool.
Yes.
But my question to the audience is twofold. What for those of you who have been doing these online seminars, whether it's MS Teams or on Zoom, whether it's been for the past 6 months or a year and a half, as in the case in Idaho, what are folks finding that's the magic number duration? Are you doing for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, once a day, twice a week, whether it's a summer program or a weekly program? For example, in Sacramento, we found by doing a 2-hour workshop 3 to 4 times a month is kind of a really good sweet spot. We get the students in, we do our icebreakers, go-arounds, getting to know you, something fun and interesting, and then we jump into our lecture presentation for the last hour and a half. And I'm just wondering what's working for folks. And then my second question is, technology equity. I've had students in rural California who have really bad internet service who've had to call in, and we've had to work with them. And what are programs doing to meet the needs of those in outskirts or folks who just don't have the technology? How are you involving your students who don't have the financial support that they need to have an iPad, an iPhone, or a computer? Just curious, because I know we're probably not serving everybody we want to.
This person has their hand raised, but probably not for that question. Lisa?
Oh yeah, I was just in regards to the Mississippi State program. He said he had participated in that and would love some more information after when there's time, if there's time.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
We can definitely reach out to them and involve them on our next call, and then perhaps post to the listserv that we've created more about them, because I think it's some brilliant stuff.
And Elia and I have a call with them on Monday or Tuesday in the coming week, I think.
Yeah, Monday.
Yeah.
Yep.
Monday.
Thank you, Joe. I was about to mention.
Yeah.
I'm glad you did, because I think that's going to be an awesome partnership for us to get their information, have them be presenting, and spreading the word. And
Definitely.
Great.
So Steve did write in the chat that he's considering having a Zoom module implanted in his brain, so he can always be Zooming. Thank you for the chuckle, Stephen. Cheryl, you have your hand raised.
Yeah, I was hoping Sue would raise her hand, but we weren't sure going into it if we'd be able to keep them engaged most of the day. And we found it quite opposite. When we wanted them to hang up, they wouldn't. They stayed on through lunch. We put them in different rooms, Zoom rooms, and they wanted to, to eat lunch together, to play games. And we had no problem keeping them engaged all day. The younger kids, that was another story, but the teenagers did really well. And Sue, or Andrea, you might want to jump in.
And thank you. This is good stuff. This is exactly what I'm looking for.
Sue, jump in.
Okay, I'm jumping. Can you see me jumping?
Catch the mic.
Yeah. So really, our biggest concern was what the attention span was of teenagers to sit in front of a computer monitor or screen all day, and unlike ourselves, we should have had way higher expectations for the kids. So they were super happy to be in front of a screen all day. They're doing that anyway, it seems like. But we, in an effort to keep them engaged, that's what I was mostly worried about. So we came up with a few different systems. We had a points program, like a token economy or a point system. So students earn points for showing up to different class sessions, to guest speakers. We kept track of the points that they earned, and then we had a store so they could go shopping with their points. It took 2 weeks before the store opened, because we wanted students to stick around, not just earn a whole bunch of points the first week and then disappear.
Cash out.
And also, and also to just kind of work on that delayed gratification, like everybody's so used to, especially probably this generation, of like instant, immediate gratification. I send a text message, I want a response now. I ordered something from Amazon, why is it not here? It's been 2 hours. So we wanted them to get that feeling of, okay, it'll come to you.
Investment.
You just have to stick with it. But then we would have these super saver sales. Andrea, who was in charge of the online store, she would do advertisements.
What did you guys give out?
What
was in the store?
Oh my gosh, everything and anything under the sun. Dollar store junk, USB drives, fidget spinners, earbuds. We had some really cool stuff. Bluetooth earbuds. We had some crazy goofy socks, lip gloss. One of the students, this was adorable, he ordered lip gloss, and it was like a fruity lip gloss, and we're like, okay, that's cool. And then later I found out from his mom that he tried to order it for her as a gift. And I told her, oh, be careful, it's going to be sparkly. But it was already sold out. So then we used Microsoft Forms online, so the students could actually go, they could go to the online order form, they could look at the Excel spreadsheet that had all the items, how many points they cost, and a description of the item. And they had to communicate back and forth with the store clerk in the shipping receiving department, which was Andrea. If they didn't send their complete address, then they didn't get the products. We had a big talk about why it's important to know your address, and that just saying the city or the street name is not your address. So just a lot of really great skills that went along with that. And then we started doing this for students who signed on early, and their name was if their name was called in the morning, they got lunch delivered that day. So we set up groups of 2 or 3 students that geographically lived close enough that
hey, I want to sign up.
I know that one of our
this.
teachers would he would sign on early, and then call the students' names. If they were there before 9 o'clock, we would send them to the lunchroom with Mr. Mark. He would get them whatever they wanted if it was within distance of their house, and then it gave them opportunity to state their address. He would ask them questions about, is there anything unusual about getting to your house? Is there a gate? Is there a vicious attack dog? Is this down a dirt road that's not marked? So it was a little more realistic. And then if they weren't signed on, then they missed lunch. And
How many students were you working with? I missed that head count. How many students?
Yeah, because Joe made me talk at lightning speed.
I know.
We had anywhere from 19 to 23 students logged on every day for 4 weeks. So we were really,
Wow.
really impressed with their attendance, with their participation. So we feel like we hit the nail on the head with the motivation and getting them signed up. Also in the store, they could earn gift cards. So it was 200 points for $1. So for every $1 towards a gift card that they wanted, they had to have 200 points to go towards that. So students were also purchasing Amazon gift cards.
You're with what agency again?
Lighthouse for the Blind and Low Vision in Tampa.
Tampa.
Formerly
Okay, I'm gonna look.
Formerly Tampa Lighthouse for the Blind.
Okay, I want to look at your curriculum. You guys got some really good, thorough stuff there that I really like. I think this is brilliant. And
The thing that really, thank you, the thing that really worked out well is that we would have one Zoom meeting room every morning, and we tried to simulate what we would typically do at the Lighthouse if we were face to face. So normally students, the first week of the program, they would receive money to go shopping, buy personal hygiene items, get ready for their interview, get ready for their work experience. So we gave them Visa gift cards, and they made one-on-one appointments with teachers to do online shopping. So they still got the experience of shopping and budgeting and picking out what they
That's
needed.
good.
I like it.
So
Wow.
We called that meeting room our activities room, because that's what it's called on site. So everybody would come to the activities room. We would have a large group guest speaker from all over the country. We had a professional singer from Los Angeles. We had like an owner baker who started her own business. Whatever the students were interested in, we had guest speakers. We had even a high-level mechanic that worked for a Porsche factory Formula One racing team from North Carolina. So it was pretty cool. Expanded our horizons. And then what really just made it so successful was that we use the breakout room feature. So each teacher had 4 to 5 students assigned to them, so that we could maintain the individuality, the independent learning, the small group learning, and they would we would send them all off to their breakout rooms, and that's when they would do the job readiness, the money management, the home management, and it was catered more towards their level and their ability. And
I'm not
it kept
catching
their interest.
all the questions, but I think Allison sent a question about your lunchroom, or she asked, I don't know if you're looking at the chat there.
She wants to know how you paid for it, the store and the lunch.
Well, the store items, we just collected stuff over the years. Like teachers have things that, maybe they have kids, they get little trinkets here and there. We have a fundraising business called Braille with a Vision that our students make magnets that have print and Braille on them. So sometimes they earn money from that. So we're able to buy little goodies and things. So just different fundraising efforts that we've done over the years to buy stuff for the store.
Shirts and
or
stuff
things that are
you've
just
done.
donated. Yeah. Exactly. They're left over from another program that we didn't use all of.
Sure.
we've gotten students like incentive prizes in years past that just weren't used. So I'm real good at hoarding things away and kind of tucking it away for a rainy day activity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What was the other question about food?
Well, the lunch, buying them lunch.
Well, that's just, I mean, we just have our typical
Program
transition
budget.
program budget. So
Yeah.
program budgeting. Typically, if we were face to face, we would be going to grocery store and buying food to make lunches every day. So instead of going out and in the community and spending money, we did a very, very small scale. So it was just one small group a day that received lunch versus taking the entire group out at a time.
That's smart.
Yeah.
Yeah. So budgets, and we saved tons of money on transportation because we
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
have
Mhm.
to provide transportation.
Awesome.
Well,
Thank you.
thanks for sharing. This is good. Yeah.
You have
That sounds
another
good.
hand raised.
Oh.
David?
I'm checking the time. We got about 20 minutes. Is that where we're at?
You're right.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Go, David. Go for it, David.
I shared with Mississippi State people this morning about this, and they weren't aware of it, but it sounded like they were interested. I just kind of came upon that. I get their emails, and I just signed up for it because it said it was like free training, and I sort of forgot about it. A couple of months later, they contacted me and said that they had an opening and that you needed at least one other person from your agency. So one of my coworkers joined as a co-trainer with me. So I thought it was really good. And it did say that they're going to be doing more in the future. So I'm sure they'd be happy if you contact them. As far as our online program, we only had one student this year. And since I'm the coordinator of the program, I sat in all the sessions, and he was really engaged. And we had 1 hour session every morning with him on employment skills, and then an afternoon session, which alternated either daily living skills or O&M, or not really O&M, but some community safety stuff. That was only one day. And he was really into it and very engaged. It would have been great if we would have had more students, because our intent was to, have students be able to break out in chat rooms and things like that and do group activities. But it was a learning experience for us too, because one of the DLS lessons was for him to cook a meal in a crock pot, and we provided him with all of the necessary ingredients and even the crock pot and things like that. And his mom was helping him out, but just like for the DLS instructor to go through all the steps, and I thought, boy, how would this work if we had 6 students? You'd almost have to have one-on-one. So that was kind of a learning experience for us. And
awesome. Thanks, Dave.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Yep.
Yep. No, that's great.
Andrea?
Hey there, it's Andrea again. I just wanted to circle back to someone had asked a question about technology to students who may not have access to it.
Yes. Yeah.
So what the Lighthouse for the Blind and Low Vision did was partnered with the school district that they are housed in Hillsborough County Public Schools. And the students that were involved in the extended school year had access to the school district technology. They were allowed to take that home so that they would have access over the summer. And even if students weren't doing extended school year, they were able to still take home the technology they'd been learning to use throughout the school year. So that really helped our students have access for those that didn't have phones or tablets.
And thanks for sharing.
Thank you so much.
You've got another hand, Janelle.
Hi, this is Janelle. I'm in Kentucky. Very similar to that, almost all of our school systems allowed the students to keep their technology over the summer. I don't think they wanted to do any in-person dropping off of equipment. So that has really helped us with our own online program. Our big thing is just getting students to want to do it because they're so burned out from online school classes that they want to break. So several of our providers across the state, across all disabilities, have really had issues with getting students to sign up and follow through. So that's been one of the big issues we've had.
That's a good
Maybe
point.
they need the points,
Incentive.
the points economy.
Yeah, that
there you
incentive
go. That token
program.
economy system
Yeah.
would probably help. One of the things that
okay,
I thought,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, Richard, you had mentioned that, you know, and we have the same problem. I live in a rural environment, and, you know, our internet's not always the best out here. And some kids don't have internet access in just period. But some of the libraries, the local libraries, I know one near us, actually checks out hotspots so that the kids have access. I mean, it's cellular based, basically, is what it is. Because I remember when I lived in Houston, that's what we had. We just had a cellular based hotspot. It was like a small, it looked like one of those pagers you get at the restaurant, you know, square, small, fits in your hand, and you just plug it up, and it gave us internet access. So that might be another option to think about. If a local library doesn't have it, if the rehab agency, you know, could make a deal with, you know, some of the cellular providers to purchase some of those hotspots and then check them out to those who don't have access, because that would help a lot.
You have a hand raised?
Great.
That was just an idea.
Great point,
Shannon?
Yeah, I just wanted to also address, again, I live in a very rural state where there's not great internet and there's not always cell service. We also had organizations issuing mobile hotspots for students. School districts were also able to let them have their technology. The other things that our state did, which wasn't perfect, but every library and every school would allow folks into their parking lots in vehicles or socially distanced to use the Wi-Fi for free from all of those locations. So not perfect, but it was something that I know families took advantage of.
Here in
That's
Sacramento,
cool.
we had the Sacramento Regional Transit had Wi-Fi buses all spring long, and hopefully they'll resume it in the fall, where 6 or 10 buses a day would be out throughout the county and parking lots, and you can go hang out and do your homework near that Wi-Fi bus. Again, if you're blind and you don't have a car to do it, but at least it's an option for people who don't have good internet.
Awesome.
Jay, I don't know if you saw Jay's question about what are libraries. I think someone answered about the library, and I think here in Sacramento they're doing express pickup, but I don't see a lot of the libraries. Our library for the blind's closed in California here in Sacramento.
I think that's one of the things, is it varies state by state and even city by city.
Yeah.
Florida, my area, they're open, but other areas of Florida, they're not. So
we're down to 4:48, 4:49. Well, Eastern time actually. So everyone's all over the country. So it could be 1:48 as well. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that APH has spent a lot of time going through, and Marissa Stalve and Melanie and Elia going through a lot of content on Career Connect, cleaning it up, and have really brought it to a much better place than it was. APH took over Career Connect from the American Foundation for the Blind, and they're intent on investing in it. And you'll see the Jobseekers Toolkit coming back in a different form. That'll be launched in the next week or two. It'll be in a PDF that can be printable and accessible as well, electronically and digitally, instead of being pages. And that way it can be updated over time, as well as down the line. You'll see the Maintaining an Employment course as well, coming in a similar format, and other resources. So check out Career Connect, Family Connect as well, for parents and families, and Vision Aware for those dealing with vision loss or adjusting to the vision loss. Great resources, and there'll be more and more coming to them thanks to Elia and her amazing team at APH. So I'm grateful to them for taking that over. I feel bad if I didn't mention that. I'm going to let Richard close out, but I'm going to also say that some of the things I heard were the gardening course, Mississippi State's programs. I heard about incentive programs such as the Lighthouse for the Blind and Low Vision of Tampa, maybe? I'm saying that right. I'm trying. Yeah. I'm trying, Cheryl. I'm trying. Yeah. But, possibly more from Karen and Dr. Wolf or Karen in the future. I also heard, let's see, other things. Oh, Maine was the gardening. We also heard about work-based learning experiences, which was also Tampa. So Tampa could have a nice presentation there. Anything else? Richard, you and Elia, would you like?
I was going to say, you've got 2 more hands and you still have 10 minutes. So
okay. Let's do the 2 hands and I'll close out, Joe. That's fine.
Okay. Okay.
Before you close out, I just want to say a couple things, but let's get that 2 hands.
Okay. Sue?
Yeah, I wanted to add, somebody asked about future programming and what's happening coming up. We're doing an extended summer schedule right now because schools have been delayed until August 24th start, and students keep reaching out and asking, when are we meeting? When are we meeting? So before we jump into our formal year-round program, we're going to do some extra fun stuff a few days a week, each week. But what I found is that you don't have to do just job readiness skills such as job applications and career interest inventories and interview prep for students to learn job readiness. Just doing games, they learn so many soft skills, hard skills, tons of ECC things. We're hosting now a Dungeons and Dragon night on Friday nights at 7 o'clock. They absolutely love playing Dungeons and Dragons, and they just needed a place to do it. Somebody signed into one of our Zoom rooms. I saw it like 2 o'clock in the morning one night, and I thought maybe they're trying to get in because we overheard them saying, "Hey, can we meet like this outside of the program?" So we decided let's give them what they want, and that way they get choice. But they're learning how to communicate with each other, how to problem solve. The dungeon master has to take charge. They have all these different personalities that they have to work with, and they all have to find their voice. They have to think creatively. They have to make decisions. And it's That's incredible awesome. The things that we learn as teachers from listening to the students. And it's highly entertaining from my perspective as well. But I mean, the list of skills that are job readiness related just goes on and on and on. Just playing things like Mad Libs, the Dungeons and Dragons, just all kinds of different games that you can get creative with.
Yeah.
You've got one more hand. Is David?
David.
I just wanted to say that we have used the Career Connect curriculum for the last couple of years, and previous to when we have the on-campus program, there's 2 weeks of classes, and basically the Career Connect covers everything we need to cover in employment skills, you know, the whole interviewing, job application, the soft skills, everything. There's a lot of good activities, so I'm really glad to hear that they're continuing working on that. And today with the Mississippi State program, they played a video, Aaron's Adventure, which I had never heard before, which was really cool. I liked it. So are those available online?
They are. They're on Career Connect, and I have to see, we were cleaning up some of the pages, but I'm pretty sure they're, yeah. I'll double check.
I'll have to look for those.
I'll send you, David, I'll send it to you. Yeah.
Cool, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, before I give it to you, Richard, this is Leanne, and I just wanted to let people know that we did during the spring have our Virtual Excel Academy, which did have transition components and episodes that you can still go back and watch via video. We also have been hosting camp, which was free. The second week of the transition camp starts August 3rd, and the second week of the junior high camp is August 10th. So those are live webinars on the Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of those weeks. They are free. You can both be a student or you can be an observer. So it is open if you would like to join in on those. That's on our Virtual Excel Camp page. And this fall, we are getting prepped to do something again for a Virtual Excel Academy because so many people are going virtual that you are welcome to participate in or even be an instructor in. And now I will turn it back over, I think, to Richard.
Yeah, so
I just want to say,
go ahead, Joe.
I just wanted to say, thanks to Joe for giving me a shout out. However, I've got to give kudos to Joe and Melanie, Marissa, and Alan for working so hard on Career Connect and the Jobseekers Toolkit and making sure that is accessible for everyone. Marissa and Joe for going through and getting the Connect Center website, back up and running and updated and all that awesome stuff that we really need so that we can keep our mission moving forward. Joe putting this together, I would have never been able to do this without, I would just, with his experience doing this, there's no way this would have ever happened. And to this extent, and, and getting a hold of Richard and everything else. So,
thank you.
Connect Center is only as good as the team that holds it together, and they are the glue. Let me tell you, this would not have happened without all of them putting it together. So thank you very much for that.
And if you all have content that you think should be added to Career Connect, Richard's written some stuff for us already, and we're always looking for people who have ideas and things that they might want to create, and we'd be happy to host information and also provide attribution to you for your work too. So please reach out to us. I think it's Connect Center. Is it Connect Center at APH?
It's aphconnectcenter.org. Then you can reach out to us there.
Yeah. Yep. Oh no, the email address though is Connect Center. Isn't it Connect Center at aph.org?
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. Yeah, Connect Center at aph.org, and please reach out. But I want to thank Richard and let Richard do the closing. Thank you, Elia. Thank you, Leanne. Oh my God, thank you.
Yes,
thank you. Joe, do you want to recap the listserv and then the survey that what we're going to plan on doing? Definitely. Go ahead and do that, then I'll wrap it up.
Yeah, we're going to be doing sending out a post survey, and also we'll follow up with more information. The listserv is freelist.org, and you can go there, but you'll search for National Transition, and you'll find National Transition very easily. I did a search right before the call. It's there. You can subscribe to it, or else you can let us know if you're having any issues. I went through 2 different listserv options to figure out the more accessible option, and this was the more accessible option. It's a little clunky with voiceover, with one of the CAPTCHAs, but the checkbox. But I'm going to let them know about that. But with a screen reader like JAWS or NVDA, it works.
Yeah.
So.
Great.
Yeah.
And
Richard, go for it.
Yeah, so a really quick plug for Careers Plus out of Sacramento. We're really focused on August, our back to school month. We're going to do back to school with your permissions on technology, how to overcome technology as you get ready for back to school, and then doing the assertiveness part of it, the social skills, and how do you ask for accommodations and those types of things. So I'll be sending that to the list. Careers Plus, we are serving students all over the place, including in Sacramento, and we average 20 to 25 per call. So we're really good, happy to be a part of this. I'm happy to be a part of this bigger conversation. We've been doing this in California, as I said earlier, on and off for the past decade, and it's super exciting. I'm so glad to see so many of you on the call, and I heard from a lot of colleagues who said they would be listening in later because of other commitments. So I think we've got a really good start, some good momentum, and I really hope that come August or September, we'll continue the conversation, and I urge all of you to join the list, and I thank Joe and everyone from APH for making this forum available. So thank you all. Let's continue the creativity on behalf of those students and families that we serve. Thank you, and have a good afternoon.
Take care, guys, and respond to the survey to let us know how often you want to meet. Take care.
Yes, thanks.